Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this great webinar about SAP Build and Mendix. Great to see you all here, and hopefully everyone is looking forward to this webinar. My name is Doruk, and I'm a consultant at Spilberg, also lead of the Mendix team, which focus on Mendix consulting and staffing. Well, Spilberg is one of the 4 brands of Vibe Group, specialized specifically in IT development and testing. Vibe Group, with all the brands, is an international IT staffing and consulting organization based in Netherlands, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Belgium, and Germany, who is joining, I think, as well. Concerning the subject of today, actually, we identified that our clients are facing challenges when upgrading to SAP ERP to SAP S/4HANA, mainly regarding custom extensions. As a perfect solution, we actually identified low-code to solve this problem and support our SAP clients in their digital transformation. Well, I'm very happy to have Ömer Kafaoğlu as our speaker here today. He is a Mendix expert and SAP low-code certified. And he will tell you today how to supercharge your SAP landscape with low code. But before I hand it over to Ömer, I would like to start with some practical information. Yes, well, there are actually 2 interactions. Let me check my screen here. 2 kind of interaction with this webinar. Firstly, we will use Mentimeter. For this, you actually need your smartphone. We are very trendy and hip. And there will be a QR code on the screen. Let me just get into that one here. If you scan your QR code, you will be taken to a site where you can answer the questions. And the answers will be shown on the screen. So maybe take a time to quickly scan everything. Let me also scan it. So here is it. You already actually put in all the questions. Did everyone answer the question? 5 even with 20+ years experience. Really wondering who that is. Also some from 1 to 5 years. Well, this is actually how we will see the questions later in the webinar as well. So let me get back. There is another, of course, the second way of interaction is the Q&A. At the end of the presentation, there will be a Q&A, and you will get the possibility that Ömer will answer the questions you have during the presentation. You can put them all in the chat as well. Well, I think we discussed all the practical things, and now it's time to get into the more important stuff and hand it over to our key speaker, Ömer Kafaoğlu.
Perfect. Thanks, Doruk. Really nice to see actually that there are so many experienced IT people. I'm for sure not 20+, but hopefully also at some point. Let me quickly share my screen as well. So perfect. Oops. Also a lot of screens here. Let me close this. As Doruk already mentioned, today our webinar is about, let me go back, supercharge your SAP landscape with low code. And I'm really happy to be as a speaker today here and share my know-how knowledge with you, especially because I have a personal relation to SAP and Mendix. I love both of the companies, both of their solutions, and I hope that I can help you today to understand what both low-code platforms are and what you can achieve with them, especially when it comes to your SAP landscape. Let me show you the agenda for today. Very short, and I think it's still very informative. And I'm going to start with low-code in general. What is it? What can you do with it? What are the advantages? And also what kind of developers are using low-code usually. Then I'm gonna go more in detail about SAP Build and Mendix. Both are different low-code platforms or no-code platforms. One like mainly from SAP, the other Mendix is actually acquired by Siemens, a company. Will show you kind of to get an idea what both platforms are. And then I have actually application I've built using a template actually in Mendix, which I want to demonstrate to you too, so that you get an idea how does a app look like, a low-code app. I used Mendix in this case to also, like, since we don't have that much time to show everything. And at the end, I want to help you to evaluate, to understand when and how to use SAP Build and when and how to use Mendix, like kind of don't want to really, like, it's depending on the business case, not really comparing, but finding their unique positions and understanding like which of both to use when. Before I continue, again, like the Mentimeter, it's a nice thing. You can use that. Again, I would like to understand where are you right now in your low-code journey, to just get the idea of if you're just getting started or if you're already experienced with that. So quickly take your time and like scan the QR code, and then let's see the results. I think, Doruk, you're gonna take over here again, I guess, with showing the results there.
So let's see. We have 7.7. Organization is enabled already. These platforms. 3 for evaluation. Also very exciting. I think, point of orientation, and I think we can go far, get into specifics. About to get started as well. I think we have a lot of, let's see, companies that also focuses on these new things, and also checking out low code for their upgrade. Good. So we go to the next question.
Yes, thanks, Doruk. Great to see the results. A lot of experience already, like a lot of people using no-code platforms. Really nice to see that, but also interesting that a few already like are about to get started. This question comes later. Let me continue sharing my slide quickly. So thanks everyone for the responses. Since we already also have a few who are just evaluating or getting started, I will try to start with to define what low code is. So what do you understand under low code? It's like code, which not is really low, but it can be really complex as well. But actually what it is, how you can imagine is it's a visual interface where you have like IDE, like where you drag and drop elements, like visual elements, which have in the backend code, right? It's kind of like a brick thing, and in the backend there is code, but you put it together and have your flow and your logic. You can use low code without any code, but also you can do coding. That's the major part of it. I mean, there's also no code solutions, which are no code at all, but with low code, you can actually extend your like software or like your low code platform with also additional code. And the advantages of, or let me also like elaborate a little bit more about the definition of low code. Imagine like back then, like when I was a kid, there was HTML and CSS, like websites. You could just build your website with, you had to code actually. HTML is really not coding, but it's a language you used to define your website and your styling, and with CSS. And nowadays, what we know is there's this website builders, right? We just can go to different platforms and build our website like easily, and everyone nowadays can do that. The same with now the web applications. It's not a site anymore, it's a web application actually, and there's logic behind it. We have buttons, when you click on it, something happens. And the same what happens with websites now happens with web applications as well. And it's a really nice way of like getting your web application really fast done and built, and also having this visual like reflection. And what are advantages of low code? First of all, it's faster development and deployment. What does faster mean? I mean, they say 10 times faster than traditional development. I can't really say if it's 10 times faster, but it is much faster. It's that fast that I had a former client actually in an insurance company, and we were about to evaluate Mendix. In particular, it was a Mendix project, a low-code project, and it was about, okay, is actually Mendix is it doing that what it promises, like being faster, right? And we had the first application we've built. It was really successful. It was really nice, and the organization wanted to evaluate then the project, the initial project we've done. And actually, from the IT in the evaluation phase, there came this comment of, hey, it's even too fast. And that's really true. Like what I realized in my Mendix projects, in my low-code projects, is that it's even so fast that the business or the IT can't really, is not fast enough in a way of reacting to the development speed. For example, when you want to integrate data, low-code app, especially in Mendix, like minute O data, minute with REST or so, it's just really a few clicks and you have it done. But the thing of getting the endpoint, like where the company is like, okay, we need, for example, contract data, it's in that system stored, and then we build an endpoint and provide it so that I can access the endpoint and consume the data in my application. Actually, that is a challenging part for the organizations most of the time, to understand where is actually my data, where is the system, and how can I access it and authenticate against it. So has also actually advantages for an organization to understand their organization setup better. Less need for deep technical expertise. That's also true. So since you have these components which you really use instead of doing code, let's say, for example, a loop, right? But you have when coding, instead of writing that, you just drag and drop this loop element, and it's really nice visualized. And then you actually can focus more on where you're going, focus more on the product instead of the coding. I know, like I'm myself, I like to code too. I did Python and everything, and I know the joy of it. But I also know in an enterprise, in an organization, you want to focus also on the product. I see it also as imagine with the cars when you're driving and you have the gear, and when you have manual gear, so you have to always look, okay, change the gear and everything when you're driving, even when you're fast and so on. And with low code, I see it kind of like an automatic gear, like you just focus on driving, you focus on where you're going instead of checking like, okay, which gear I have to put now, and very simplified set, but that's kind of the idea behind it. And low code is basically automatic car, autopilot, more or less, almost. What else do we have? We have an increased collaboration between business and IT. The main thing about low code is that now you can enable business users, like also called citizen developers, we will come there later, to put their expertise now into code, because it's really easier for them to enter now the application development cycle part. They can easier collaborate with the IT. They have the same, they see the visuals, you build something, you see it. It's easier to talk with the IT professionals. And it's really a platform which helps to get the people together, to get business and IT together, to also remove silos. I have the personal experience as well in my past, and it's really nice. And that collaboration part, because it's really crucial as well. So what is a citizen developer? As I already mentioned, a citizen developer usually is from the business, has no formal IT background, but that doesn't mean that you as an IT professional can't use low code as well. You could actually, you should also. It's like collaborating together, and it helps the business to enable. What is the advantage also of that? You have this, as a citizen developer from business, you have the domain expertise. You exactly know what is your process you want to digitalize. What do you have to do to get a product, an IT product, which helps you in your process? I myself had back then when I started with low code, especially Mendix, what was happening is I was in a portfolio team, and I get to know so many things. I had to talk with IT, I had to talk with business, with management, with the portfolio orchestrating team, and so on. There was a huge process behind it, but everything we've done was mainly manual with Excel and PowerPoint and everything. And I on my own thought like, hey, we have this nice process, actually, portfolio process, but it's not supported by any software. And what I then thought is, okay, I actually have affinity to IT, and maybe a little bit more than a usual citizen developer. And then I thought like, hey, I get to know Mendix. It was really nice. I was super amazed about that platform, and thought like, hey, why don't I start to build prototypes there first, and then look what kind of process from part I can start with. For example, collecting all the business requirements in a single database instead of different Excel sheets, which are like spread in the whole organization, and you don't know which one is actually containing the true information and everything. So I started there with my low-code journey, with my Mendix journey, and it's really important to identify in your organization those kind of citizen developers and enable them doing low-code development. And yeah, citizen developer usually uses low-code and no-code to build software. So that's for the part of low-code. I hope everyone had a takeaway of that. Let's go to the important part about the SAP landscape, Supercharge for SAP. So first of all, why are we talking about SAP Build and Mendix? Those two low-code platforms are supported by SAP. They are running on the SAP Business Technology platform, which is really crucial when you want to, for example, like from ERP, like transform or switch to S4HANA, upgrade to S4HANA, but also if you're still on ERP or you're just getting started with your S4HANA integration. SAP Build and Mendix are the only ones, so far I know, and I researched a lot, who run on the business technology platform, which have really nice integrations to SAP systems and landscapes. So from SAP itself, there are announcement and blog posts about this from SAP. They're saying like, back then the strategy was you have, for example, SAP ERP, right? And then you have your custom processes. So the ERP is built with best practices from the industry. It is like kind of how you should do your processes. But what makes you unique as a company is actually your unique processes, right? The way that you do the things different than everyone else does. And what happened then is you took this ERP system and then you tweaked it, you changed it, you customized it and everything, and you actually changed a running system or standard software, and that was back then the way to go. But now with the cloud, switching to the cloud, there are like different challenges. There's also different strategies and different learnings and takeaways from the past. And SAP itself says, hey, you know what, when you have SAP ERP, then try to make the core clean, keep it clean. When you're switching to S4HANA or getting started, keep it clean, don't touch it. It's really awesome how it works like that. But for your own processes, for your own custom needs, you can just build on top of your, for example, S4HANA. So you have a, I don't know, invoicing process where you do something different. Before it triggers something in S4HANA, you can then build this app on top of it, which is on the same cloud, right, with seamless integration to your S4HANA and also other SAP solutions. And then you can just like have a nice like separate app, which you also can faster develop, right? You can, it also supports this whole agile development. Sorry for that. So that is the main purpose why to use low code, and also SAP is announced that low code is best way, is a good way to keep the core clean, to build your custom solutions. Let's continue with the next slide. I want to talk about the history. This is really important for me so that you understand where are we right now in the low-code journey? When did it all start? And how is actually like Mendix and SAP Build from the history seen like founded or like started, right? So we have here Mendix, founded in 2005, which is really like early. I didn't expect that actually that they already had the idea of a low-code platform so early. And they started with their low-code, no-code journey back then. And focused really on this whole low-code part, focused on getting the business side enabled to also do web application development. Then 2010, AppGyver was founded. So what is AppGyver right now, right? It's a no-code platform, which then later, as we see here, is then like transformed or transformed to SAP Build and also acquired by SAP. So AppGyver was initially a no-code platform and founded in 2010. So when we then continue, 2017, SAP and Mendix had a partnership. Like Mendix was announced as a solution extension partner for low-code at SAP and for SAP customers. And actually, that was also the time I started. I think it was 2017 or 18, where I then at SAP, I was working at SAP and like get to know Mendix, and it was super amazed. And then had my first Mendix projects there at SAP internally, and also gained a lot of like know-how how Mendix works together with all this SAP Landscape, SAP solutions. It was a super amazing time. I really enjoyed it, and like really grateful for that. What then happened is 2019, Mendix was acquired by Siemens. Yeah, I just can say lucky Siemens here. They did a really good decision by acquiring Mendix, and since then they're pushing it also more into the digital factory manufacturing side. But Mendix can do a lot more and is evolving and growing rapidly. SAP then in 2021 acquired AppGyver. And since then, they're continuously evolving and developing the platform, like initially a no-code platform, and like doing a lot of work to get it also in a like good way, good pace, evolving. So the thing is, so 2022 in the SAP Tech Ed, the SAP announced SAP Build. And like it's a rebrand of AppGyver, and it's also an enhanced version of AppGyver. And since then, there's a lot of stuff happening with SAP Build. So we're 2023. You see that low code is existing since 2005, at least with Mendix. And nowadays, we are here today, and the thing is, you definitely want to jump into this low-code journey. And I see already a lot are joining that. And it's actually not a question of low-code or not. It's more a question of which low-code platform to use and like how to get started there. Okay, so let's go to the next slide now. I want to start with SAP Build. What it is, how it looks like, so that you get an idea of that. So SAP Build itself consists of 3 different solutions. One solution is the SAP Build apps. Like you can also see it on the screen here. That's the left part. So when you go to your SAP Business Technology platform and you subscribe to the SAP Build apps, SAP Build Process Automation, and SAP Build Workzone, you will get something called a SAP Build Lobby. And in that lobby, always when you click on create something, you can start and select the starting point. Is it an application, an automated process, or a business site, which is then the work zone? And or like this build apps is actually the AppGyver turned into build apps, and the automated process is for like the build apps is for creating web applications and mobile applications, and the process automation is really to automate, like its name, how it says, like it's about automating your processes. It's also really nice, and you don't want to do manual work repetitively over and over again. So what you do is you automate those processes, and they're really well integrated with SAP. And the business side is kind of, I think back then it was the Launchpad. It's more like a collaboration portal that you have one spot for different purposes, different applications, SAP and non-SAP applications as a central starting point for your people. What is interesting to know here? So this is all kind of looks unified, but it is how SAP Build Apps and automated process is working together is that you can trigger when you build an application in SAP Build Apps. You can, for example, have a button, and that button can then trigger a process in your process automation and like go the usual way of the process what you defined and what you built there. And how does it trigger it? It's actually an endpoint. It's an API. Like, what does it mean? It's like you can actually, from any application, from even your traditional apps, but also from Mendix, for example, you could just trigger a process from automated process automation, because it's just an API you're like sending a request to, and so it's, you don't really necessarily need build apps to also use automated process. So they're kind of also standalone. They work also standalone, and they also integrate with other software solutions systems. So let's continue. Let me quickly check the chat if everything is good. Okay, that looks good. Great. So let's go. The next slide. So let's get a quick idea about how SAP Build looks like. That's kind of the no-code or low-code platform, application platform, development platform. And as you can see it here, it's actually on the web based. So you have to go via your business technology platform, and then from your subscription, you can open that one. And let's quickly, I actually take that from SAP's website. So it's not something I've built. And then you see here, you can just drag and drop your elements. And then here also, you can drag and drop your logic. That's the logic part. And then you just connect it together. And that's pretty much straightforward. You can also have properties, which you then here on the right side can like set to different things. And that's pretty much it. It's really fast. It's also has a lot of features, and you build your application with that. And the logic you already saw, it's called Visual Cloud Functions, and then you can use that one to execute more like extended logic. Then let's go quickly to process automation. So like I said, like it's a like an own standalone software solution which you can trigger from your build apps. And here's how you like define a process here, like automate the process. You build it on their way. I really like the process automation part, and I also like that you can actually start to trigger a process from any of your applications, which also run on the SAP Business Technology platform by having a trigger, which is then triggered by an API call. That's then the process automation. I really showed us that you get an idea of the solutions, right? Also visually, that helps a lot. Then let's see the work zone as well. It's a nice thing, I guess. I personally didn't use it yet, but it's basically a rebranding of the Launchpad so far I researched. And it's also nice to have a like kind of a portal where you can put all your, here it says already disconnected systems, create inefficiency and overwhelm users. So it's more like unifying everything on one single page and having a better user experience, which is also really important, right? It's the experiences our customers or users have with the apps we built. And yeah, that's pretty much the work zone. Let's quickly see what's going on here. Looks also great. And you can as well integrate it with non-SAP systems, as it says it here, and also your custom applications across SAP. Also, really nice solution here. And then I would say, let's jump to the next slide. So this is Mendix. What is Mendix? Mendix is actually a low-code platform as well. It's the leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for enterprise low-code application platforms. And it's truly like if I can share my personal opinion, like awesome low-code platform. I really enjoy to working with that, and it has a lot of capabilities and is not without reason a leader. And let me show you how, for example, development process in Studio Pro could look like. Very nice done. You have your charts, you have your, that's the page, you put all your containers there, then you have your entity, which is really enhanced. There's a lot of things possible, from security, from entity access rules, from different attributes, and also the association part is really important, which are for now, for example, missing at SAP Build. And then we also saw here that you can just from the data have access to your SAP sales orders integration, so that you don't have to rebuild it all the time. And then you put your logic into your button. That's a microflow, which then has different activities and executes really also extended and complex logic, and is more all kind of unified, really nice. And as you can also see, it's a mobile friendly app as well. So that is Mendix. Now let's try to understand what is, let me here switch a slide. I was really not sure if I'm gonna make this slide or not, kind of a feature list. It's really difficult to say okay, SAP Build Apps can do that, Mendix can do that. As of now, there are things which Mendix can do, which SAP Build Apps can do, which the other one can't do. But very important is that it's continuously evolving. Both platforms, they're continuously evolving, and they're really good to use. And nevertheless, for the current state, how it is looking right now, let me just show you quickly what SAP Build Apps can do. It's like a web and mobile app you can build with that. You can consume data via OData and REST. And OData is crucial, especially for SAP systems. That's kind of the standard protocol to retrieve your data. And REST is also very common. I also saw that you in Visual Cloud Functions can do JavaScript. So also additional code, custom code you can put there. And that's also very nice. As a database, so far I understood you can do a backend with Visual Cloud Functions, where you then create also your entities, your attributes. And there are also things called extended entities, which is then kind of a database on your business technology platform and can be accessed by Build Apps. What is very nice about Build Apps is, and that's what you should also really consider when you evaluating your business case, is that it has a lot of predefined SAP content. So you can really, there is a lot of things where you can ready to go, start with it. And it really depends on your business case to evaluate also this predefined SAP contents, and then see if you can actually really quickly start with building your app. And there's, of course, a lot more. And you can just check out the SAP blog. They have also a roadmap where they show what's going to come in the future. With Mendix, it's it's also a web and mobile app. You can consume and publish data via OData, REST, and SOAP. And all very, very easy. When I back then at SAP also worked with SAP systems to include in my Mendix applications, it was very easy. I get the endpoint. I had there the XML, the metadata. I just had to import that into the Mendix app. It immediately created me the entities, immediately the relationships, and was just very smooth to use. That's also the example I gave in the beginning, right? The endpoint to get that provided takes longer than actually to include it into your Mendix app, and that's in Mendix happening really fast. With Mendix, you can do custom JavaScript, you can do custom Java code, and that is really crucial, that Java code. I had a lot of projects where there was always hey, there's this particular thing which is maybe easier or better to solve with a custom Java code, or which is only solvable with a custom Java code, or maybe the client wanted to say hey, I want this particular, maybe a calculation of something in a Java code, because I want the Java code to also maintain in other applications, and I want to be able to access that and to have the ownership of the code. So it's really important to have that too. And with Mendix, it's really easy to do that. Mendix supports also different databases like PostgreSQL, SAP HANA, So that's also really important if you're like having the SAP landscape, like the HANA database, it's an in-memory database, it's really fast, and you want to like benefit from that you can just like when you create a Mendix app, you can say, like, when you deploy it, you can say you want to deploy it with a HANA database, and you just select that in your subscriptions, and that's it. And different many more databases. But it's also really crucial, and I think important for an enterprise level application, is roles and access management, which is, for example, in the roadmap for SAP Build for Q3, but is already existing in Mendix. And yeah, that's to also saying like what is right now the case, it can be different in future. And Mendix is also module based, so that means we really can features we built, we can put them in modules, right? So there's kind of an own world, which you then make a certain, just it has one purpose to do, and then you can build it really clean and then use that module everywhere again. You can export it, use it in your different projects. You can even like use it in the marketplace and everything. And it just makes the app more dynamic, more easier to extend everything. And there's also many more other things which Mendix can do, and also continuously evolving. Both platforms really nice, evolving continuously, and looking really into that in the future, how the thing's gonna look like in the low-code world. So quickly again, like QR code, I would like to understand from you, if you could scan that, if you're using like just the SAP Business Technology Platform as your cloud provider, if you're also having other cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform, like if you're just into one, like in this case only SAP, or if you're going multi-cloud, right? That I would really like to understand, to also give you more insights about the next slide, which is, I think, a crucial part about like understanding how to get started with low-code, or which low-code platform in your case to use. So Doruk, I would hand over to you again for the results, I guess. Okay, that was actually very clear, and also not different than what I expected. So it's usual that you use a multi-cloud solution, right? You don't just do one SAP, like one cloud provider. Still, there were like, I think, two people, and for them also really important then to say, hey, SAP Build. So what is the thing here? Mendix itself, but is really powerful, and I think that should be your starting point if you want to evaluate like how, like which platform I start with, especially as a SAP customer when I want to do with low code. What can Mendix do? It is a multi-cloud solution. So when you want, you can create an application in Mendix, and you can deploy it in AWS. There's also a lot of stuff happening right now with Mendix and AWS, where they have an intense partnership, and also connectors and everything they build and provide in the marketplace. So you can like deploy that app on AWS. You can even deploy that app at the same time on Azure, or you can build another app and deploy it on Azure. You can choose a Google Cloud Platform, and you can also choose SAP as a platform. So what the thing is that with Mendix, you're also, because of the partnership from 2017, Mendix is also very well integrated to the SAP Business Technology Platform, has also connectors and other components you can use to like connect with SAP systems. SAP Build, on the other hand, is as of now, and I also assume in future, specialized on SAP Business Technology Platform, but this can be also a huge advantage because they really focus on like getting the best maybe experience there, and with the predefined business content, SAP content, there's also a lot of things you can do. Right as of now, still, like I'm, for example, missing with SAP Build the roles and access management. So in SAP cloud platform, you have this roles collection, you have the roles and security, right? Mendix is already like creating all these role collections and roles for you, the scopes and everything. So you have a very secure app. And with SAP Build, so far I researched is that you, and also tested is that you have like 3 defined role collections, which then you share an app. Basically, you can't really have a roles and access management there. But like I said, it's in the roadmap, it's going to come, and there's a lot of things going to happen. But if you want to start today, you want to maybe first start with thinking of what kind of clouds you're using and which one can then support that besides of your business, like SAP Business Technology Platform. I would like to quickly demo an application actually, which I built. I also see that we don't have that much time left, so I will really do it quickly. Let me show that. So first of all, what I want to show, I created a Mendix application, and I have here the SAP Business Technology cockpit, and created a trial account here. And what I want to show is that actually we have here Cloud Foundry as our like environment. And we have here, I created a collaboration portal app. When I click on this one, this is actually a Mendix app running now on the business technology platform. And also here, when I go to instances, you can see that those are the different instances we use. This one, the update failed, is actually not related to that. It's another instance. But as you can see, I have the connectivity service, I have the destination service. So if I have destinations to consume them, I have the application logging service. I have also here my HANA schema scheme, like it runs on HANA. And I have the authorization and trust management service for the whole roles and access management. And I all bind it that with my like collaboration portal app. So let's quickly see how that looks like. This is the collaboration portal. It runs right now on the Mendix, on the SAP Business Technology Platform. Let me quickly log in here. For this demo purpose, I just use a local account, but you can also integrate it with your single sign-on with SAP and just seamlessly sign on with your SAP account. Let me go in here. I quickly have, I guess, a chat. Is this new? Let's check. So this is a collaboration portal. It's available in the marketplace for free from like Mendix provided. And I just want to show you here how a Mendix app could look like, right? Running on the SAP Business Technology Platform. And we have here different, like we have here a table with the status and everything. We can create a new supplier, for example. I'm right now as a portal admin in here. I can say I have a supplier which I want to onboard. I can tell, like, I don't know, I just put Spilberg, sorry, and I just put Torgaken. And then I can put that here, and then demo.mail.com. I hope that doesn't belong to anyone. And I can save and send an invite, and then I have onboarded. And of course, yeah, demo mail didn't work. But yeah, and then you can see here your new supplier, and then invite was sent. And you can connect that with all your SAP systems, so they talk to each other and send this supplier data back and forth. Due to that time, I didn't now implement this one, but what I want to show you here, because of the time limit, which is really nice, which I like a lot, is when you log in here, for example, as a supplier contact, and there is this, in this app, there is this AWS text extractor, and it can like read your invoices and like put them, like read them, basically extract the text there, and you have your invoice digitalized. This is really nice. So let me show you that, demonstrate. So I just make an invoice upload. I go in here, I select here my invoice, what I have, and I click on save. And then it goes to the AWS text extractor, and it's a pre-built connector, so you can just use it, and it's kind of an out-of-the-box thing. Really works smooth. And if you then go in here, you see here that's my like invoice. This is the data, and this is like the extracted thing. I have that right now in my database. All that information from that like extracted in my like database, which is really awesome. Nice thing. So I would then go like also more, sorry, I can't see the screen. This is basically a lot of stuff you can do here in the application, and also like notifications, right? We have here a notification part where you then see new things. You can also click on archive, and then it's going to archive it. You can do different things here. What I want to also show is, so what I talked about, right? The roles and access management. We have here the roles like supplier administrator, we have supplier quality manager, customer contact, product design, and everything. So it makes it really good, this collaboration portal, for different roles to work together. They have different views, they have different rights to access data, read data, or execute microflow or logic. And this is really awesome. And this is also really important to do. Let's also try maybe one thing as a customer contact. If I go in here, what do I have? I have a different view. I can, for example, click on new RMA, and then I have here a wizard step. This is also just an out of the box thing. You can use this wizard step, and then you can click, for example, here on this container. You can say product name and everything. Sorry, I'm not that creative in here right now, but I just put these numbers, and I can go to next step. I can select a category, like, I don't know, I just select other. I can put here a description, also not very creative. I can also put documents in here, like upload files. And I think there's also, for example, something which right now doesn't work with SAP Build, since they don't have this file entity, so-called file entity, but this is also something gonna come in the roadmap. It is coming. Example document, let's browse, and then let's, I don't know, let's take this invoice here again, and then save that here, and then go to next. And then we have here a summary and overview, and then we can click send and print, and then it's even like opening my printer here. My printer is not connected, but I see it here, this PDF. Maybe I can even like download it like that, and then I have that one. And then it's successfully uploaded to RMA, and I have it here in the list, and I also downloaded my PDF file. Very nice, and awesome that it also works really smoothly with the SAP Business Technology Platform. So let me go back to the slide. I think that was good to get an idea of that. And let's go to the last slide, which is then about evaluation. So you want to start with low code, or you already have low code, or you just want to understand as a SAP customer to really start and supercharge your SAP landscape, really get the maximum out of it, create a really complex applications, really useful applications to create a great business value. How would you evaluate, or I personally would evaluate like this? First of all, it's multi-cloud, right? As we saw, there are a lot of companies who have multi-cloud solution instead of just having SAP Business Technology Platform. So you really want to understand, like, if you're using that, and then actually if you're multi-cloud, go with Mendix, but if you're fine with SAP Business Technology Platform, you also go with SAP Build, also totally good, and then you can decide. What is also really important is the community. I really enjoy and love the Mendix community. I love all the events happening, all the things growing, and due to the history, there's just a lot of more people, a lot of more developers, a lot of more events. And that's really nice. But also SAP Build, also SAP is doing a lot of events. They're really going into hackathons. They're providing learning sessions. They're creating this community, and it's also really fast growing and also awesome. Extensibility, that's also a really important thing, what I just show you, and what I already demonstrate, how the platforms are doing with extensibility. And to be honest, as of now, if you want to start today, May 2023, the maturity, how it is as of now, is really important. And right now, for me personally, and also what I demonstrate is that the more mature platform also due to the history is like Mendix. But as I said, SAP Build is also growing and evolving really fast, and also specializing really on this SAP content, pre-built content. So at the end, the choice depends really on your business case. But at the end, definitely what you can't do wrong, what is a good decision is do Mendix or do both. The thing is, it's also good to go, as you go with multi-cloud, right? You have different cloud solutions, go also with different low-code platforms. You don't have to lock yourself into one low-code platform itself. You can do both, basically. But if you want to get started with one, you can't do anything wrong with Mendix, like you even do a really good start with that, I guess. So let me quickly check my chat. There's also something. No demo of an SAP Build app. Yeah, exactly. There is no demo of an SAP Build app. I could have a demoed one. It's was my like personal decision to keep this also I mean, we're already over time, but what I would say is if like someone is interested into that, I can also in the next session or in another session demo SAP Build, focus also more on SAP Build. I personally just like wanted to demonstrate Mendix as well, but also as I show the SAP Build videos in the beginning, this is also like possible to show something to get an idea what it is about. But good point. Contact me, and like you can feel free anyone to contact me for any demo. Contact me to understand your business case, which of the both platforms would fit, and then like also the feature list, right? If you want to have a more extended version, as of now, the current state, I can also deliver a feature list and then help you with getting started there. With that said, I would say thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed the session. I hope you did as well. And like, sorry for the SAP Build demo part, but this is something I can for sure do as well when there's demand. Just let me know, and then we do another session or even a personal session. And happy for everyone who gets started with low code, who does low code, and to support them in their journey. It's also really a passion of me to do low code and enjoying that all. Okay, thank you. Then I would say, Doruk, I hand over to you, I guess.
Yes, thank you so much, Ömer, for this great presentation and a great outline of both platforms. Great demo, and thank you so much for your time. Yeah, thank you all actually for joining this webinar. Well, we're also always trying to improve our webinars as well. After such a session, you will also receive an evaluation, and we will highly appreciate your feedback. Yeah, what can I say? Thanks so much for everyone, and I wish you all a great night. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.